Hi first graders, today we are going to be creating a spooky cat that looks like this. In order to create this piece of artwork with me, here is what you'll need. You are going to need a pencil, something to draw on, crayons, and also a black marker. Once you have these art tools, then we can get started.
So the art technique that we're going to be using for this artwork is called contour. Contour means we are going to use an outline. We are only going to outline the shape of the cat. So notice here I'm starting with the top of the cat's head. And I'm using sort of like a hill shape, a curved line for the top of its head. Next, we're going to continue with the rest of the cat's head. So creating a sharp angle for its ear, and then curving down for the side of its face with like a hook shape. Then I'm going to curve back around and create the neck of the cat, and then curving up to continue with the body of the cat. Notice I'm bringing the line, curving it all the way down towards the bottom of the page. And you'll see at the bottom of the page, I just paused there. And then in a moment, I'm going to draw a straight line across from the side of the page on the right to the other side of the page on the left. So I'm drawing a straight line across the bottom of the page to the other side, and then curving up at the end of that line. Next, I'm going to continue that line all the way up for the cat's tail, and then eventually on the other side of the cat's tail going down. So curving that line up, big curved lines all the way to the top of the cat's tail. I'm going to pause here and then follow that same curvy line back down for the cat's tail. Next, I'm going to continue this line curving up for the rest of the cat's body and then finishing the cat's head, including its ear. So curving that line back up for the rest of its body and its neck, and then curving our line all the way up the side of its head and finishing off with its ear. Next, we're going to go ahead and create the eyes of the cat. So notice I'm using a curvy shape for the top of its eye and a curvy shape to close the eye on the bottom. We'll do the same curvy line on the top of its other eye and same curvy line on the bottom of its other eye. Now we're going to draw an oval inside of the eye for its pupil, and another oval on the other eye for its pupil as well. Now I'm adding in some eyelashes, which are just little lines right above the cat's eyes. So about 5 or 6 lines above the cat's eyes. Another detail is the nose, so adding a triangle for the nose right in the center of its face, and then curvy hook shapes on the bottom of that triangle for its mouth. Next, we'll draw the whiskers on the side of its face, 2 lines that are slanted on both sides. Now the details on its face are finished. Next, we're going to be using a technique called Zentangle. Zentangle is another word for patterns. So we'll be adding patterns to the body and to the tail of our cat here. I'm going to start with a pattern on the bottom. This will be our first Zentangle pattern. You can choose any patterns that you want. For me, I'm going to be drawing a straight line across on the bottom of the cat. Inside of that space that I just created, I'm going to create some repeating shapes or patterns. The repeating shapes I'm choosing to draw here are lines that create triangles. So slanted lines, up and then down, up and then down, up and down, up and down, and up again. Now I have a repeating pattern, which is again another word for Zentangle. Inside of my triangles, I decided that I want to add some dots. So that adds a little bit more detail to my Zentangle or my pattern. So part of the art technique Zentangle is using all different kinds of patterns. So this time I'm going to add a different pattern to the tail. I'm going to add these curved lines, sort of like stripes, all down the cat's tail. So notice I'm using the same type of curved line over and over. It's the same shape repeating itself, which means it is a pattern. I'm going to continue until I get to the bottom of the cat's tail. Then I think I'll add just one more stripe here. Next, we're going to add a different pattern to the body of the cat. This time it's going to be a spooky pattern. I'm going to add some candy corn, and then after that we'll add some ghosts to cover the body of the cat. So starting out with the candy corn is shaped like a triangle but with curved corners like this. And you'll notice that candy corn have lines in the middle. So one line near the top and one line near the bottom that are kind of curved. To make our pattern more interesting, we're going to add some stripes on the bottom. And then we're also going to color in the middle section of our candy corn, just like this. Next, we're going to add some more candy corn spaced out on the body of the cat. So notice that I'm adding it a little bit far away from the other candy corn so that we can have lots of space for a different pattern after this. I'm adding in those details again, the stripes on the bottom, and coloring in the middle section. You'll also notice me drawing this candy corn here upside down. So that's the fun thing about patterns, is that we can repeat the shapes over and over, and the shapes can be turned around to make them look a little bit more interesting. So you notice this one is curved and slanted a little bit to the side. So I'll continue that all over the body of the cat. A few more candy corns here. Next, we're going to be adding a new pattern. We're going to be adding some ghosts in all of these spaces that we have. Our ghosts are going to start out with the curved outline with 3 little curves on the bottom. And then we are going to add its face, which is 2 ovals for the eyes, and then 1 circle for the mouth, almost like the mouth is saying boo. And now we're going to continue adding in those ghosts in all of these empty spaces in between your candy corn that you created. And notice here that I'm drawing another ghost, but turned a little bit slanted, because remember, when we add patterns, we can change the direction that the pattern is drawn. So they can be a little sideways, they can even be upside down, just to make the pattern look a little bit more interesting. So continuing here, adding in ghosts in those empty spaces. And if I'm going too fast, like always, remember that you can pause the video whenever you need more time. So you'll notice we used different patterns on our cat. We used some stripes on the cat's tail, and then we used some ghosts and some candy corn on the body. That means we finished our Zentangle. Now it's time to move on to the next step. Your next step is to trace with a black marker since you have been drawing with pencil. So you're going to trace those lines that you created in pencil with black marker to really make them pop and stand out. So tracing all of those ghosts and candy corns, all the details on the face, and also the entire outline of the body. Now it's time to color. So you'll need your blue crayon. We're going to use our blue crayon to color in the body of the cat, including its tail and its face. We are also going to be using our orange crayon to color in the background. So all the area, all of the space behind the cat. And you'll notice that these two colors are very different. Blue and orange are opposite colors. In art, we call those complementary colors. If we look at a color wheel, they are on the opposite sides of the wheel. So that means they are opposites. So sometimes it's interesting to use opposite colors or complementary colors to really make our artwork stand out. So let's take our blue crayon and start coloring in the body of our cat. I'm starting with the tail, but you can start wherever you'd like. So try your best to stay within the lines. If you do go out of the lines, don't worry about it. Just try your best. Remember, you can pause the video here so that you have enough time to color, and then when you're finished coloring the cat all blue, then you can come back and watch the rest of the video. Don't forget to also color in those eyes either with black marker, or you can choose to use a black crayon. Coloring in those pupils of the cat's eyes, and then also the triangle nose of the cat as well. Now we are ready to use our orange crayon for the background, so we are going to color in all of those areas around the cat with our orange crayon. Once you're finished coloring, remember our last step is to add our signature. An artist always adds their signature somewhere on their artwork. We're going to add our name in the corner of our artwork so that people can know who created this artwork.
Now that you've created your spooky cat, make sure to take a picture of it and upload it here on Seesaw so that Miss Rodriguez and I can check it out and admire your beautiful artwork. Until next time, first graders, bye!